There are some mysteries in the world that have become older with time, but their answers remain elusive. Have you ever heard of a book written in a strange language that no one has understood to this day? Or a computer found in the ocean that is thousands of years old? Or stones that defy human understanding? So the question is, are these just historical anomalies, or a truth that humanity is simply not ready to comprehend? Today, we embark on a journey to explore some of the world's most mysterious secrets, things for which no one has an answer. Friends, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so, because your subscription motivates us greatly, and we will continue to make more videos like this for you. So let's begin with the first mysterious secret, the Voynich manuscript. A book that seems to defy the very laws of the world. Imagine you find a book written in an unknown language, filled with illustrations of strange plants, and whose meaning even the world's most renowned scientists have failed to decipher. This is the Voynich manuscript, the world's most mysterious book. In 1912, a rare books dealer, Wilfrid Voynich, discovered this book in an old monastery in Italy. The book contains more than 240 pages, but some pages are still missing. After radiocarbon dating, scientists confirmed that the book was written between 1400 and 1440, meaning it is approximately 600 years old. But the real mystery begins with its content. What exactly is inside the book? Let's find out. Every page is written in an unknown script. This language does not match any culture or civilization in the world. It contains symbols and alphabets that humans have never seen before. And the illustrations depict strange and unique plants that do not exist in reality. Some pages contain astrological diagrams, depicting stars and galaxies that people in medieval Europe were completely unaware of. The most surprising thing is that some illustrations show naked women bathing in a strange green liquid, surrounded by objects resembling tubes and pipes, like a sketch of some unknown technology. Some believe this book is a message from an alien civilization that we cannot understand. Others believe it might be a record of an ancient civilization that has vanished, and its language is forever lost to us. Some historians suggest it might be a medieval medical guide written on women's health and herbal medicine. But if that were the case, the language would have been decoded by now. Some experts say it might be a fake manuscript written in the medieval period to make money. But the question arises, why would a fake book contain such a complex language and systematic symbols? More than 100 years have passed, but the code of this book remains unbroken. Despite artificial intelligence and modern cryptography, the Voynich manuscript is an unsolved puzzle. And most importantly, every page gives the impression that it contains hidden knowledge, concealed from humanity, as if this book contains science from another world. Number 2. The Nazca lines. Imagine a desert where lines drawn on the ground between the soil and stones form designs so large that they can only be seen from the sky. These are the Nazca lines, found in the Nazca Desert of Peru. To a person walking on the ground, these lines simply appear as random and strange excavations. But when airplanes first flew over the Nazca Desert around the 1930s, they made an astonishing discovery. There were more than 300 geometrical shapes, animals, and mysterious figures spread across the entire desert. Imagine someone drawing a human face, a monkey, a giant hummingbird, and a spider on the desert floor. And on such a massive scale that they can only be understood from the sky. These lines were created by the people of the Nazca civilization, from 200 BCE to 600 CE. The upper layer of the desert is covered with a kind of reddish-brown soil. If this layer is removed, a lighter gray-white surface is revealed underneath. The Nazca people created the lines by exposing this underlying surface. But the question is, how did they create such large and perfect designs? There were no drones at that time. There were no airplanes. Standing on the ground, a person would never be able to understand what the complete design looked like. Many scholars say that the Nazca lines were a kind of astronomical calendar. These figures align with stars, constellations, and the times of the solstices. This means they were perhaps related to the stars in the sky and planetary cycles. According to one theory, these lines were a kind of ceremonial pathway. People would walk along them to perform rituals. Perhaps prayers for water, as Nazca is a very dry area. The most popular and thrilling theory is that these lines were created for an alien civilization, a kind of landing markers that they could identify from the sky, because creating that kind of scale and perfection seemed almost impossible for humans at that time. Some experts say that it was a kind of underground water map. The Nazca people perhaps wanted to show which areas had water available beneath the surface. The Nazca lines are still as well preserved today as they were when they were created 2,000 years ago. Due to the dry desert climate and the lack of strong winds, these lines have never been erased. UNESCO has declared them a World Heritage Site. It was declared, but the mystery remains. Were these divine prayers? Was it a calendar, or a message for aliens? Imagine an entire civilization creating designs that they themselves could never see from the ground. So who did they create them for? Number 3. The Pyramids of Giza. Imagine a place that has held the secrets of the world's greatest kings for thousands of years. The Pyramids of Giza. These pyramids are not just tombs or architectural marvels, but a sea of unsolved mysteries. The most discussed topic is the secret chambers hidden inside the Great Pyramid of Khufu. When this pyramid was constructed, approximately 4,500 years ago, it was built with such precision that even today's modern engineers are astonished. In 2017, a scientific project, the Scan Pyramids mission, made a discovery using muon radiography techniques. This is a type of cosmic ray imaging that detects hidden spaces within walls. And then scientists confirmed that a large hidden void exists inside the Pyramid of Khufu, approximately the length of a commercial airplane. Now the question arises, what was this chamber for? Some say it was a construction corridor used during the building of the pyramid and later sealed. Other researchers believe it could be a royal burial chamber that no one has yet had the opportunity to enter. And some theorists believe that this chamber could be a secret vault of ancient technology, or the pharaoh's treasure. And the mystery deepens when it is discovered that there are still narrow shafts and corridors inside the pyramid, whose purpose no one understands. For example, one shaft is built directly in alignment with the stars. This suggests that the Egyptians had a deep connection with astronomy and the afterlife. The mystery of the chambers inside the pyramids has not yet been fully solved. Experiments and scanning are still being conducted there today. However, physical entry is not permitted because it could disturb the structure. Imagine if these chambers were opened one day. Would we find a treasure, or perhaps knowledge that would change human history forever? This secret chamber hidden inside the pyramids is still one of the world's mysteries that challenges every generation. Number 4. Easter Island Moai Statues. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean lies a small island called Easter Island. And there stand those strange and massive Moai statues, which leave everyone astonished. Stone figures ranging from 13 to 30 feet tall stand on the ground. Some weigh up to 80 tons. And all of them were made with stone tools. That means no machines, no iron, just primitive tools. The biggest problem is, how were such large stones cut and transported from the mountain quarry to locations kilometers away? The locals say that the statues walked to their places on their own. This sounds strange, but it makes the Moai statues even more mysterious. Some archaeologists say that perhaps they were dragged using ropes and wooden logs. But even modern people struggle to move them after conducting practical experiments. How did the ancient islanders do it? The second big question is, why were these statues made? Some say they are spiritual guardians of the ancestors who protect the island. Others say it was a way to display power and authority. And some theories also suggest that these might have been part of a lost civilization that was advanced and took its knowledge with it. Even more frightening is that researchers say there are entire bodies beneath these statues, not just heads. Large torso parts buried underground have been found, indicating that the statues were actually representations of complete human bodies. This means that for centuries, people believed they were just large heads. But the truth turned out to be even more profound. At night, when the wind blows strongly and the sound of the ocean waves can be heard, the Moai statues seem completely alive, as if they are staring at you with their eyes. Number 5. The Bermuda Triangle. In a part of the Atlantic Ocean, there is a triangular area known as the Bermuda Triangle, or the Devil's Triangle. It has 3 points, Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. And if you connect these 3 points, You get a vast oceanic triangle where many ships and airplanes have disappeared without a trace, forever baffling the world. The most famous case occurred in 1945. Flight 98, 5 American Navy bombers, set out on a training mission. In their communication, they reported that their compasses were malfunctioning, and they couldn't determine their direction. Then, a few hours later, their contact was lost, and all their planes vanished without a trace. And most surprisingly, the rescue team that went to search for them also disappeared there. Not only planes, but many ships have also vanished from here. The USS Cyclops, a very large Navy ship with more than 300 people on board, disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle without sending any SOS signal. No shipwreck was found, nor any dead bodies. A whole ship simply vanished into thin air. Some scientists say that the magnetic fields here disrupt compasses and navigation instruments. Methane gas hydrates. Methane gas is extracted from beneath the ocean floor. It emits something that changes the density of the water, causing ships to sink easily. Some theorists believe that this area is an alien base from which they abduct humans for their experiments. Another theory suggests that the Bermuda Triangle is located above the advanced technology of the ancient lost city of Atlantis, which is still active. Despite thousands of investigations, the true mystery of the Bermuda Triangle remains unsolved. Many experts say that these are all just natural explanations. But the truth is, no one has a complete explanation for all the cases reported here. Number 6, the Shroud of Turin. Now, let's move on to a mystery that has always confused religion, science, and history. This mystery is the Shroud of Turin, an ancient cloth that has become the subject of the most debate and research worldwide. Imagine a cloth so old that it bears a faint image of a man's entire body. This cloth is kept in the city of Turin, Italy, and that's why it's called the Shroud of Turin. Many people believe that this is the same cloth in which Jesus Christ was wrapped after his death. The shroud shows the outline of a man with a long beard, as if someone had taken a photograph and imprinted it on the cloth. The image shows the man's face, hands, feet, and even his back. And the most astonishing thing is that the man's body bears the same wounds described in the Bible during Jesus' crucifixion. Nail holes in his hands and feet, marks of flogging on his back, and a crown of thorns on his head. Science has tried hard to understand this. In 1988, some scientists conducted carbon dating tests and said that the shroud is only 700 years old, meaning it couldn't be from Jesus' time. But later, other researchers said that pollution, eggs, and repairs on the shroud prevented carbon dating from giving accurate results. Some experts even suggest that the cloth fibers were subjected to a type of light radiation that is not possible in the normal world, as if a supernatural flash had printed the image onto the cloth. To this day, no one has been able to confirm whether the Shroud of Turin is real or a fake relic created in the Middle Ages. But whenever it is viewed, people feel a strange sense of spirituality and mystery. It remains a great puzzle between science and faith. Friends, just imagine, is this truly the Shroud of Jesus, providing proof of his resurrection? Or is it merely a carefully crafted illusion that has become the greatest religious mystery in human history? Number 7. The Antikythera mechanism. Deep in the ocean, the wreckage of a ship lay scattered. From there, an old rusty piece of iron was recovered, which at first seemed like just a worthless piece of metal. But when scientists examined it closely, they were stunned. This was no ordinary piece of metal. This was the Antikythera mechanism, a device thousands of years ahead of its time. In 1901, Greek divers were exploring a shipwreck that had sunk near the island of Antikythera. There they found gold, statues, and ornaments. But the greatest discovery was a rusted gear machine. Initially, archaeologists thought it was just a broken astronomical instrument. But as research progressed, it became clear that this was an incredible machine, 2,000 years old. It had small gears, wheels, and dials just like a modern clock. After research, it was discovered that this mechanism could calculate the movements of the sun, moon, and planets and predict eclipses. It even predicted the dates of the Olympic Games. Imagine, how could a machine that functioned like a modern computer have been built 2,000 years ago? This is the biggest mystery. There is no record of such technology existing in that BCE era. Creating such an advanced design of metal gears would require precise tools that the people of that time simply didn't possess. Some experts suggest that it might have been created by a lost ancient civilization or an unknown genius. After X-ray imaging and 3D scans, scientists confirmed that the mechanism had 37 gears. It was a kind of analog computer that calculated space and time. But one question still remains. If this technology existed 2,000 years ago, why didn't the rest of the world know about it? And how did that knowledge suddenly disappear? Some believe that the Antikythera mechanism is proof that ancient aliens gave technology to humans. Others say it's a relic left behind by a lost civilization like Atlantis. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The Antikythera mechanism will always remain a puzzle that tells us that our history is not as simple as we have been taught. Friends, we'll meet again in the next video with another mysterious secret. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Metal. But when scientists examined it closely, they were stunned. This was no ordinary piece of metal. This was the Antikythera mechanism, a device thousands of years ahead of its time. In 1901, Greek divers were exploring a shipwreck that had sunk near the island of Antikythera. There they found gold, statues, and ornaments. But the greatest discovery was a rusted gear machine. Initially, archaeologists thought it was just a broken astronomical instrument. But as research progressed, it became clear that this was an incredible machine, 2,000 years old. It had small gears, wheels, and dials just like a modern clock. After research, it was discovered that this mechanism could calculate the movements of the sun, moon, and planets and predict eclipses. It even predicted the dates of the Olympic Games. Imagine, how could a machine that functioned like a modern computer have been built 2,000 years ago? This is the biggest mystery. There is no record of such technology existing in that BCE era. Creating such an advanced design of metal gears would require precise tools that the people of that time simply didn't possess. Some experts suggest that it might have been created by a lost ancient civilization or an unknown genius. After X-ray imaging and 3D scans, scientists confirmed that the mechanism had 37 gears. It was a kind of analog computer that calculated space and time. But one question still remains. If this technology existed 2,000 years ago, why didn't the rest of the world know about it? And how did that knowledge suddenly disappear? Some believe that the Antikythera mechanism is proof that ancient aliens gave technology to humans. Others say it's a relic left behind by a lost civilization like Atlantis. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The Antikythera mechanism will always remain a puzzle that tells us that our history is not as simple as we have been taught. Friends, we'll meet again in